I'm now joined on the line by Henry Winkler to discuss the upcoming season premiere of Barry Season 2 on Sky Atlantic here in Ireland and the UK on April the 3rd. And I suppose, Henry, I got to start off. When Bill Hader told you about Barry originally starting off and the whole concept of the show, and you've been in many TV series, many movies at the time, did you think that that this was something that had potential, that had real development? And have you been taken back by the success of Barry? Is it more than achieved? Has it gone more past what you thought it might come to?
I'll tell you, first of all, it is a pleasure to chat with you.
Cheers, Henry. Thank you.
And second of all, when I read it, I knew I was reading something special. I've read so many scripts to consider over the years, and this was like reading Kashmir. It was just amazing. And then when I got together with the whole cast, we would read the scripts around the table, and we would all see each other and have lunch. And then, when we started shooting, I never saw the other actors. There was the classroom, and there were the shoot-'em-ups.
Yeah.
It was like two different shows in one. But the acclaim, the wonderful viewership that we have around the world is so gratifying.
Yeah, and Henry, I suppose you mentioned an interesting point there, that you never really saw what was going on in the other action shoot-up taken. When you actually sat down and you actually saw the first episode of Barry all put together, what was it what you thought you'd imagined it was, for seeing it from the script and then coming to life on the screens, or were you even a bit taken back by what you saw in front of your own eyes when it all came together, when you saw it on screen?
Well, I'll tell you that, you read it, but when it comes to life, when the actors and the director, the cameraman, and in our case, a camera woman, you bring it all together. Sometimes your jaw would drop. In one episode, Barry did something that you went, oh my goodness, I can't even believe what I just saw. And in the very next episode, is a hero, and you're cheering for him, and you think he's the greatest guy on the earth. It is so dark and funny and complicated that I'm very proud to be a part of Barry.
Yeah, and I suppose, Henry, I spoke to Bill Hader before season 1, and I was trying to confiscate what the life of Barry, and it almost felt to me like that it was the Clark Kent Superman sort of lifestyle, in a bad way, that he was the Clark Kent by daytime going on this acting, trying to pursue this career, but he was that super villain at the evening time. So a different of a twist, where a good guy not being the superhero, but a good guy but being a very, very dark guy at the same time, but wants to be more of the good guy rather than that dark element of his nature.
Well, I'll tell you something. That is who we are, isn't it? I mean, people are complicated. They're not just all one way. And, the struggle of he is a hitman, he's an assassin, and he must stay in the shadow. And then he realizes, oh my goodness, I would love to be an actor. Now he's got to be in the light. And the pull of those two things make him nuts.
Yeah, and I suppose, Henry, I read an interesting fact now. When the concept of Barry came about with Alex Berg and Bill Hader directing, that instead of you probably being cast for the role, you insist that you should audition for the role. Was that sort of...
I'm so sorry. I didn't understand the last part of your question.
Sorry, Henry. You actually wanted to audition for the role. You didn't want to be cast straight out. You actually wanted to audition for the role of Jeannie Clouseau. Was that
Well, let me just say this, that I was asked to audition.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't something that I said, oh boy, I'm so happy, let me audition.
Okay.
Auditionings to audition for something, and every actor knows this, no matter how much work you've done, how good people think you are, it is a scary process. Mm-hmm. You go in there, you're reading off a page, you're reading with somebody else, and sometimes that person doesn't know what they're doing. There are so many elements working against you. Mm. But when I was told I was on a short list, I asked the question. I said, "Is Dustin Hoffman on that list?" Mm. Because if he is, I'm not going in because he's going to get it.
Yeah.
They said, "No, you're on a short list." And I went in, and my son Max, who is a director of movies and television,
yep,
he directed me in my house for the audition. Mm. He went over the pages with me. And then I went in and I auditioned, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And then I got a call from Bill who said, "Hey, I wrote 2 scenes last night. Yeah. You want to come in and play?" And I thought, "Oh, no, don't make me do this again." So I emailed the pages to Max, my son.
Yeah.
And then over the phone, he directed me for the second audition. Mm. And I went in, and then you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And then finally I got the call, and they said, "Would you like to do this?" And last September, I won the Emmy.
Yeah. And I suppose, Henry, you started off in relation to, we all know your classic time in sort of Happy Days, and that was probably a single sort of camera sort of shoot. But working in relation to Barry, where it's multi sort of functional sort of cameras and sort of and being on that sort of roller coaster sort of set where you're shooting out multiple takes and multiple scenes. Did it almost feel bringing you back in sort of back in time, or is it a completely different element when you're shooting a TV series now these days to back in relation to back then? Is the schedule, is the time pretty much the same, but all the different angles and aspects that you have to learn now in relation to Barry, I suppose it's a different stratosphere?
That's a good question, because making television is different in one way, and that is the technology. Mm. Well, we now watch television on our phone on a plane. That was unheard of when I started. Mm. But to make television, you need humanity. You need the good director and the good writer and a good producer, and then you need to have a great cast. Mm. And a cast not only who's talented, but a cast who are not idiots, who don't have attitude, who show up and do their work. So every project I do, to me, is a different puzzle. Mm. It's like a box of 2,000 pieces, and then you have to piece together your human being that you're playing. What are other people saying about you? What is the author saying about you? What is the director telling you that his or her vision is? And then you pray to God and you roll the dice. You never know whether something is going to strike the fancy of the viewer. But I have to say, from everything that we've seen, Barry really strikes a chord. It's funny. It's dark. It's an adventure. It's psychologically, crazy. It's I'm very proud to be a member of the cast.
Yeah, and Henry, something that sort of struck me was in relation to season 1, where there was a strategic sort of decision as well. You see many of these new TV series that come out, and they all go about to try and break the bubble straight off and try and come out with maybe 20 or 30 episodes, and then probably viewers sort of after the first season, they're probably drained or they sort of lose interest. But there was a strategic decision just to do 8 episodes of Barry and then take a break, sort of leave the audience wanting more and wanted to come back and sort of work the treat. You see an awful lot of series that have season 1, they have 20 episodes, and then halfway through season 2, maybe 5 or 6 episodes through season 2, they hear the news they're going to be cancelled or not going to be taken back for season 3. But having this decision to go maybe only 8 episodes at a time, do you think it's a clever sort of a move? It's prolonging the lifetime and it gives more chance to bring up more quality material.
You know, that is up to Bill Hader and Alec Berg. Together, they make a bubble of greatness. They really do. They are really brilliant creators. And we were supposed to do 8 and then 10 and then 12. And they decided to do 8, and I never asked them why. But my instinct is that they don't have to dilute the story.
Yeah.
They don't have to film stuff just to fill time.
Yeah.
It's only a half an hour, 34 minutes long each episode. And I want to tell you, it's just chock full
jams,
of story. You know, I mean, I can only imagine what is left on the editing floor.
Yeah, and Henry, just in relation to the other cast members, another prominent member, and she's really a prominent part of the show, even though that I know yourself won an Emmy and is well deserved for Best Supporting Actor, and Bill Hader won an Emmy, but the importance of Sarah Goldberg, who plays Sally Reed to the show, and then the sort of humour and the sort of villain that is Anthony Carrigan, and these are 2 integral key components of Barry's success as well.
You know what? You cannot, unless you have wonderful stories that are just populated, full of human beings. It is really hard to sustain.
Yeah.
And the other characters, like when I went to audition, Sarah Goldberg, who I think is like a treasure, was sitting on the stairs waiting to audition. And I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Henry." She said, "I'm Sarah." And I said, "Are you going in?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So just relax, enjoy yourself. They are lovely people." And then I left. And the next time I saw her was on the soundstage.
Yeah.
When we started. And Anthony plays this crazy character of NoHo Hank. But, the young woman who played my love interest in season 1, well, Paula, wasn't she fantastic?
She's brilliant, yeah. And Henry, I know you're a well-travelled man, and I saw the documentary recently where you were, it was shown here in Ireland, where you were over in Germany with a few of your compatriots and stuff. And I got to ask you the question, have you ever ventured onto our shores here in Ireland, Henry?
I have been to Ireland. I have been there once. I was there with my children's books. Hank Zipser, the world's greatest underachiever. I went up there and I did a lot of talk shows, and I had the most wonderful time.
And Henry, just in a sort of last sort of few minutes now of the interview, just a good sort of fun way to finish off, I just want to sort of refresh your memory about Ireland and your time here, and it's something we do with all our guests. It's just a simple, quick 10 questions about your knowledge of Ireland. Is it something you would like to take part in, Henry? It's just a sort of quick...
Okay, I hope I don't make a fool out of myself.
Okay.
Let me just say before we start, on my iPod, I have Irish music because somehow I am deeply emotionally connected to Irish music. The Irish tenors, they make me crazy.
That's a great note, Henry, and I'm sure that'll come all to your aid. Henry Winkler, you're a celebrity. How well do you know Ireland? Question number 1. Can you name any colour in the Irish flag, Henry?
Yeah, Green.
Correct. Question number 2, Henry. Can you name any county in Ireland?
Cork.
Correct. 2 from 2. Question number 3. March the 17th is known as what day worldwide?
St. Patrick's Day.
Correct. Question number 4, Henry. Which of these is a famous Irish tourism attraction? Is it A, the Cliffs of Moher, B, Brandenburg Gate, or C, Oystermouth Castle?
A.
Correct, the Cliffs of Moher. And question number 5.
The Brandenburg Gate is in Berlin, right?
Correct, yeah, I know you probably get that after being in Germany. It's and the Oystermouth Castle is in Wales. Question number 5. Which of these is a famous Irish river? And it's actually the name of an Irish airport as well. Is it A, the River Shannon, B, the River Rhine, or C, the River Lech?
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go with my instinct now. I love to fly fish for trout. I've fished once in Ireland, and I was completely skunked. I didn't catch anything. I'm going to go with Shannon.
Correct. It's the River Shannon. You're going very well, Henry Winkler. 5 from 5. Now, question number 6. Can you name any Irish sports star? And I'll give you a hint. This guy was all over the news there last year. He broke a bus in Manhattan, and then he had a big, massive sort of fight with Floyd Mayweather. But that's just...
Oh, right. He's got a beard, and he was a martial artist also, right?
Yeah.
And a boxer. He crossed over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I'll give you his first name, Connor.
Connor O'Patty, Connor Shamrock, Connor Lute, Connor Guinness.
No.
No, I don't know.
It's his grand Henry Winkler. It's his Conor McGregor. Of course
it is.
Question number 7, Henry. Can you name any famous Irish alcoholic beer? And you'd probably mention.
Yes. Can I ask you? Am I crazy, or is it Guinness?
Correct. Question number 8, Henry Winkler. Ireland was once occupied by what country? And it's our neighbours across the river.
Your neighbor across the river, so it's not Mexico. Is it England?
Correct. And question number 9. Which plant or shrub is the national symbol of Ireland?
The 4-leaf clover.
Correct. And finally number 10, Henry Winkler, to score 9 out of 10. Can you name any famous Irish actor or musician?
The Chieftains.
Correct.
The Irish tenors. And now I have to get this right because I don't know how to pronounce her name because I'm so learning challenged. But Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan, correct. Henry Winkler, in our celebrity quiz, how well do you know Ireland? You scored 9 out of 10. And I suppose finally, Henry Winkler, for the last 30 seconds, you might tell all our Irish audience why they should turn on their TV sets. They should sit down on April the 3rd at 9 p.m. on Sky Atlantic. And what has Barry Season 2 got in store that's going to build on from Season 1? What can they expect when they turn on their screens waiting to see what Season 2 of Barry will bring?
Okay, so the overall theme is, can a person change their nature? Now, I play a charlatan drama teacher. Can I really change my nature in order to teach something of value? Can Barry really put down the gun? Can NoHo Hank take over the gang? Can Sarah get an agent and get a real part? And all of this in 34 minutes with comedy and shock. And I tell you, if you're going to watch TV, you don't want to waste your time. and we give you 34 minutes filled with entertainment that actually cures the common cold.
Henry Winkler, I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour talking to you on the airwaves today. As a child, I would have seen you growing up on the TV sets back in the late 1980s, back in around 87, 88, from Happy Days. I'm pleasure to be able to see you on the TV screens again now in the 21st century. And Barry, you're brilliant back then. You're brilliant now to this day, Henry Winkler. And we wish you all the best in your future endeavours.
Thank you. You know, Jim, when I was 27, I got the Fonz.
Yeah.
And when I was 72, I got Barry. I got the show Barry. And this is how loyal the Fonz is. He watches Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a loyal viewer.
And on that note, Henry Winkler, I have to say, happy days to you, sir.
And to you, sir, let me just say, it was such a pleasure to talk to you on this telephone.
Cheers. Thank you, Henry. Take care.
Bye, Jim.